Well, the cult hero, Dennis Andries, in action again here as he warms up for a bid to regain the British cruiserweight title against Terry Dunstan on November the 28th. Andries, the former 3 times world light heavyweight champion and veteran of 9 world championship fights, officially 41. Nobody knows his real age. It could be a year or 2 more than that, and he certainly won't be telling anybody. He's here fighting Artis Pendergrass, an American who has won 8 and lost 4 so far, but never been stopped, and usually gives a pretty good account of himself. Pendergrass with the white stripe down the side of the blue shorts.
Yeah, this is no easy fight for Andries. Pendergrass is not really at his natural weight. He's a much lighter man normally, but he's a big puncher, and as you say, never been stopped. So Andries needs to be careful. Should be a win for Andries, but you can never be sure with a big puncher.
Andries was absolutely furious when the decision went against him in his first fight with Terry Dunstan when he lost his British championship. I must say, we did think he just squeezed home, but the referee thought otherwise, and he was the one that counted.
Well, I must admit, I did too. I thought Andries had lost. I thought it was a clear win for Dunstan. But then we all do vary.
Very subjective thing, this scoring of fights.
It is, yes. You know, with
as 1 or 2 people know to their cost.
Especially with a fighter like Andries, who is a pressure fighter, steadily coming forward. You know, I went through the boxing of Dunstan. Showing a bit of boxing ability there, Andries. Very strong man, isn't he?
Very strong and very, very dedicated. He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, and he's always been, well, he's been pretty unfashionable. I remember, it's the famous story now in boxing, when he first won his world title, he turned up to a press conference with the belt in a plastic carrier bag on the tube to the press conference. So you can't say that the bright lights have ever turned this guy's head.
No, certainly not.
Not that they've been too bright. Despite all his world championship wins, he's never really had the stardom as such. Certainly can't afford any kind of slip up here, though, as he looks to stay on the fringe of the major league, as it were.
Good body shots from Pendergrass.
I think Pendergrass has come here, you know, Nicky, with a bit of ambition, because he's brought a 2-man training team with him, and I think he's been here for a few days. It's not just like a guy just turning up late, although he was caught with quite a good right hand by Andries.
Very good right hand.
Second round, and due to go 8. Dennis Andries, professional for 17 years. First British title fight was 15 years ago against Benny Johnson.
It's been unbelievably, unbelievable career, really.
Usually, of late, he's come into the old Beatles hit, When I'm 64, which is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek effort about his age. Tonight they didn't use that. I was disappointed.
He probably brought the original.
You do get the feeling that this fellow Pendergrass, his heaviest weight to the end of last year was 12 stone 5, so he looks like really more like a light heavy against a cruiser here.
I don't know why he's up at this weight, really. He looks a very, very good boxer. He's a good puncher, apparently. Good shots there, left hook. Andries really determined here.
The pattern with Pendergrass so far is every time they've stepped him up in level a bit, he's tended to lose. He's finding Andries, I think, a bit of a handful. He's certainly feeling the weight of his punches. He's not a concussive hitter, Andries, but he does hit very, very solidly, and there's always lots of pressure from him.
Good jabs from Andries.
wonder, don't you, how much longer can he go on fighting Dennis Andries? He shows not too many signs of going backwards too rapidly.
He looks as good now, really, as he was when he was winning the world title. He's just as strong, looks as fit. Good right hook from Pendergrass.
It was a good shot, wasn't it?
He's a clever fighter. I think if he was given the stardom treatment, really, he could be made to be a great fighter. But some of these guys just tend to only want to be a journeyman. They get put in with the very best in the world and never seem to win many fights.
Pendergrass gets in with a good right to the body. He looks as if he can look after himself.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Good jab too.
Out the third round, they're both off their stools. Third round.
Well, I've given the first two even. If I had to pick, maybe I'd edge towards Andries, but I couldn't really see much in it. Probably the harder shots coming from Andries.
Yeah, I gave the first to Andries and the second even.
Yeah, well, that could be right.
Artis Pendergrass with Tommy Torino from Atlantic City in his corner, giving the instructions. But Andries has been around so long, and of course he's had a lot of gym wars as well when he used to be at the Kronk, and they had better fights in there than a lot you saw in the ring.
Positive start from Pendergrass to this round.
Heavy-handed more than anything, Andries, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, the shots.
Those didn't land. They landed on the gloves of Pendergrass, who has this boyish kind of face which almost accentuates the huge age difference between them. Could almost be a son fighting his dad in there, couldn't it?
Well, it could be, couldn't it? It's a good body puncher, Pendergrass. And a good low puncher too, but look at it. Yeah.
They landed on the hip, a couple of those left hooks. Body shots from Pendergrass, knocking Andries back.
Well, they're right above us. It's a really good attack from Pendergrass.
Something of an arm look about some of those punches he was throwing, flailing away. He has all 8 of his wins, though, have come inside schedule. Suggests he's got some kind of dig.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Even at this weight, he's punching quite powerfully.
Andries teeing off, but not connecting. What he's always been most effective at doing, just brawling in Andries. Not too much science about it. That's a great left hook.
Left hook.
Well, buckled the knees of Pendergrass.
It really hurt him, yes.
He's got him on the run. He's trying to buy some time. The right cross didn't help Pendergrass too much either. With the white stripe down his shorts. Nicky Piper's scorecard, there it is, with Andries in just a half-point lead at this stage. 2 even rounds out of 3. They'll give you a job judging European title fights with that kind of judging, Nicky.
They may do. They may do. I am edging my bets a bit. I'll be more decisive now. I won't sit on the fence.
Well, I told you, I met an American judge the other day, and he told me he'd never, ever scored an even round in his life. Never, ever.
Well, I mean, you see, you've got to, I mean, that's true in a way. There can never really be an even round, can there? Somebody has to land more or better punches than the other. But Pendergrass has got him on the ropes. I think Andries is playing with the guy here. Just covering, not really hurt at all.
Andries is very, very resilient. Even if you do hit him hard, it takes an awful lot to get him into real trouble. I remember the way he kept bouncing up, even when Thomas the Hitman Hearns was bouncing him around the ring in Detroit in a world title fight.
Yeah, one of my all-time favourites, Tommy Hearns. Probably the most destructive fighter ever.
Of course, Andries has done a fair bit of sparring with him as well, quite apart from fighting him.
Almost got through with a big uppercut there, Andries. Trying it again. That lands well. We'll soon see how resilient this Pendergrass is.
The difference in here is power, isn't it? In this fight?
Serious. Well, weight is the main thing here.
Andries looks as if he's quite content to just walk through Pendergrass's punches to land his own heavier artillery.
Really good shots from Andries.
Oh, he walked onto a right hand, though, Andries there. He does look like a cruiser, doesn't it, against the light heavy?
It certainly does, yeah. Andries is very big and very powerful. Very impressive, Pendergrass, though. He's got a lot of talent. With a stand and trade with Andries, but Andries is the naturally bigger man.
The type of fighters I think are really giving Andries trouble are the clever boxer types. Boxers and movers.
Yeah, this guy's standing. Oh, great right hand from Andries. I don't think this is going to go the distance. I think Andries will be the first to stop this Pendergrass. As he gets slightly more tired. Looked a bit low.
Heavy blows. Andries wanted to continue the argument after the bell there. Six minutes left in this one then. There's no signs yet that Andries is going to suffer an unscripted defeat on his way back into that November the 28th rematch with the British cruiserweight champion Terry Dunstan. I'm looking forward to that fight.
It'll be a great fight. I say Dennis wasn't too pleased when I went against him with the verdict last time. I can understand his opinion, but it was that type of fight, as we've said earlier. It could have gone either way.
Did he give you a hard time about it?
Well, he was a little bit quiet when I spoke to him afterwards. Didn't like what I said.
It was one of those really where opinions among a lot of good judges were split both ways.
And it was a hometown derby, wasn't it, really? Both from the same area of London.
And both from Hackney, right.
Hackney, that's it.
Breathing a bit heavier, Andries. I wonder if the years may be just starting to take their toll a little bit on him stamina-wise. He would, I know, resent anyone making such a suggestion, but we will anyway. He's just run out of ideas a bit, it seems to me, Pendergrass.
Yes. Well, in fairness, they both have really. They're both doing exactly the same thing. You've got to get hand in the Pendergrass, and this is great effort. I think he's winning this round so far. Andries really hasn't landed anything.
You certainly haven't been shy when matchmaking this fellow. The guys who are controlling him, he's got some brave managers, hasn't he?
That's right.
Pendergrass.
Yeah.
And they've had him in with Robert Daniels, a former world champion, Dennis Andries, and this is a fellow who's only had 12 professional fights. You're right, I mean, it's not the right kind of education.
No, it's not, no. But then that's the... it's so frustrating sometimes when you see guys with this talent being put in. It's not an education at all, really. It's just bad management, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's dispiriting for him, this exercise. It's beginning to look that way anyway.
Right.
He's getting clubbed around and taking quite a few solid punches.
If he was to go with one of the big promoters in Britain, Frank Warren, Barry Hearn, they'd really bring him along to nursing. I mean, he'd be a great prospect, I think, in 2 years' time. I mean, anybody can get in only that 12th fight with Dennis Andries and give a good account of yourself when giving away natural weight like this.
He slipped there, not for the first time. Pendergrass, I think he's had a little bit of trouble finding a real foothold at times. Andries can't stop the man. Still.
Well, I'm going to give that last round to Pendergrass. I think he did more work, landed the more shots. Andries landed 2 or 3, but they were more powerful, but that was all he landed.
Tommy Torino and David Marks are the Americans in the corner with Artis Pendergrass.
You see, I think Dennis is actually staying on the ropes on purpose here, just letting Pendergrass fire away. But if you watch these shots, quite a few are getting through. They're not hurting Andries. Good little short punch from Andries inside.
So we're coming up to the last round of this one. Andries is winning it all right. Looks confident enough. As they touch gloves. Last 3 minutes of the contest. The veteran Dennis Andries. How much longer will he be around on the professional circuit?
That's a good right hook.
Just looking a little bit puffy around the face, or starting to, Pendergrass. Hardly surprising. He's getting some good body shots of his own.
He has, and head shots.
Andries has fought a lot with his back to the ropes, just as if he's trying to buy a little bit of time in the last couple of rounds. But to be fair to him, he's landed some pretty heavy-looking shots of his own when he's been in that position.
Like that left hook. But Pendergrass is so strong.
Still the same
right hand
rough brawler, but he's getting caught a bit. He's looking a bit open.
Actually.
This is the best little spell Pendergrass has had. It's late in the fight. Andries is looking increasingly tired.
Still getting through with big shots. Both men. It's a great fight. See if the old man can outwork the young man, eh? Very fit.
Just walks in and look at the way he teed off with that right. Andries there. Look at him manhandling Pendergrass around. This is a really rough, tough, rock-like brawler. Such an awkward man to have in front of you, Andries. You won't find him used as the role model for too many textbooks, but he can be so effective, although he's taking quite a few punches here from this American.
Great effort in the last round for Pendergrass. Good left, right uppercut.
Oh, another one. Oh, that hurt him, yes, it did. He sagged for a moment when that landed, Pendergrass. But this is a tough cookie, this man from Florida. He's taken a lot of punches. He's still there.
Yeah, the last half minute now, and he's standing on top.
Coming up then to the closing stages of this contest now. And there's been some final round between these two.
Brilliant.
Andries with the final right. They enjoyed it almost. Look at that. Andries wins it on points, as he surely did. Some heavy hitting from him, and he'll regard that as I would think a nice little tune-up for the Dunstan fight.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I mean, he couldn't have hoped for a better warm-up. He was in with a guy that was really talented and really strong and such a durable guy.
Big shots in the final round, Nicky.
Yeah, what a right hand. And he just stood there. I mean, this is from a big man such as Andries, who can definitely punch. And he gave a good account of himself in the last Pendergrass, but Andries just got through it slightly more of the bigger shots. Good right uppercut. Again, you know, tremendous pressure. Tremendous uppercut.
And he wins, Dennis Andries, for the 49th time in his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee's scorecard reads: Artis Pendergrass, 78 points. Dennis Andries, 79.5 points. The winner, Dennis Andries.